What's up guys, it's still the tourist here, and I'm just gonna be honest, I am a huge Nintendo nerd. I love Nintendo so much, I literally used to just sit in my bedroom for hours animating Lego Nintendo videos. Now I'm aware they're not the best gaming company, but the Switch is still my favorite console, so naturally I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. Therefore, when I found out that Nintendo was collaborating with Universal Studios to make a bunch of Nintendo-themed theme parks, I was unbelievably excited, and I knew that I had to go to it. That's when I found out about America's newest theme park, Epic Universe. It literally opened earlier this summer, and therefore it's only been open for a few months. Y'all already know I have to go to this theme park. With that said, this summer I'm planning on going to every state in America. I finally made it here to Florida, and that's when I realized, wait a minute, Epic Universe is here in Florida. So I booked my ticket, which honestly was kind of expensive, but I don't regret it one bit because this theme park was absolutely insane. With that said, let's start this video. I was in Florida for 2 days, and I did a lot of really cool stuff. So yeah, without any further blabbing on my part, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's get this video started. We start this video on an Amtrak train coming from Savannah, Georgia, all the way to Orlando, Florida. After a long train ride, we finally make it to my Airbnb, so I pretty much just drop off all my stuff, and I headed out for today's adventure.
We made it to Orlando, Florida. It's a very long train to get here. It's currently raining, so I dropped all my stuff off at the Airbnb. We're gonna go enjoy a pirate show. Let's keep going.
So pretty much what ended up happening is I got to my Airbnb and I look outside my window, and in the distance I see this giant building that reads Pirate Dinner Adventure, and honestly I'm a humongous pirate fan. I might blame it on the Pirates of the Caribbean series, but whatever it was, I just love pirates. So even though it was literally downpouring out, I ran all the way across the street just to go watch this show. I did some quick googling and it sounded like a pretty fun event, so I headed over. As soon as I went inside, obviously I'm greeted by a bunch of gift shops. Now I'm gonna be 100% honest, if my backpack wasn't completely full, I would probably end up buying a ton of these useless souvenirs. They did have some pretty cool pirate themed merchandise, if I'm gonna be 100% honest. Actually, scratch that, I did end up getting some souvenirs that I think about it. I actually ended up getting a handful of stickers. I got a few for me and a few for my family members. Anyway, after checking out the gift shop, I finally make my way into the showroom. So the whole idea of this is it's a dinner and a show. So they feed you your food while they pretty much entertain you with a live pirate themed performance. Now prices of the tickets kind of vary. I forget exactly how much I paid, but I looked online. It looks like tickets are anywhere from 65 to 75 bucks. You get a 3-course meal and a really fun show. I mean, in my opinion, I'd say it's rather worth it. I had a really fun time sitting back, eating my food, and enjoying the show. I would say the show seems super professional. The acting was good, the music fit. I mean, overall, it was just a really good show. But my favorite part is when I actually got chosen to be a part of it. See, I actually got selected to be a part of the show, and I have absolutely no clue where the footage went. I do have this YouTube short though, so I'll just show this to you guys. When I was chosen to be a part of the show, so naturally I took this as an opportunity for my acting debut. So I put on my best pirate act. And like the perfect pirate I am, I started to hoist the sails with my fellow pirate crew. The crowd was loving it. People were cheering and yelling that I was the best pirate actor they've ever seen. Once we hoisted the sails, it was then my job to hype up the crowd.
Yeah, I want to see some movement. I'm not seeing enough movement out there. Yeah. Subscribe to my YouTube channel now. Yeah. Let's go.
I would have to argue to say that the crowd loved me. Now make sure to like and subscribe as the full Florida video is coming soon. So yeah, as you guys saw, I did get selected to be a part of the show. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I accidentally deleted the full footage, which is my bad, guys, but hey, it's a good thing that I still have the YouTube short saved in my phone. With that said, I had a great time. After that, I went to the Airbnb, got some sleep, and in the morning, it's time to go to Epic Universe. Let's get going.
Good morning. Here in Orlando, we're headed to the theme park. I was gonna ride my scooter, my normal kick scooter, but I said, you know what? Why would I do that when they have rentable electric scooters here? I have the Uber app. I checked the app, and yeah, you can rent a scooter. So here I am, fully electric, 25 horsepower. I don't know how fast it is. I looked in the app, it said it's over 7 miles per hour. 7 miles per hour is not that fast, but I think this is going, like, it feels like 10 to 15. So yeah, this feels like 10 to 15 miles per hour right here. Anyway, I feel like I'm going pretty fast.
We're still going. We're almost there.
made it. You rode this scooter. Oh shoot, where is it? Where is it? There you go. You rode this scooter all the way here. It's $24, I believe, because I kind of made a detour and was just enjoying the ride. That said, we took the scooter. We made it to the Universal Studios resort, which means that the Epic Universe has to be closed. So we're gonna go to Epic Universe. It opens in 20 minutes. So let's get jogging.
After a super fast-paced jog, we finally made it here to Epic Universe right before they opened. Honestly, I was so excited. I didn't do too much research before coming here. However, I do have a general idea of what's going to be here, and I'm just so excited to go see that Super Nintendo world. So I take a quick selfie, and as soon as they open the gates, I make my way inside and get in line for the Super Nintendo world to open, and soon it does. Now, the only thing that you really need to know about Epic Universe is that it has a very interesting and unique layout. So pretty much the whole idea of this theme park is it has different portals, and each portal grants you access to a new theme park. And the very first one I'm going to go to is Super Nintendo World. So as of right now, there are currently 3 Super Nintendo Worlds across the world, this being the newest one. And my goodness, I'm so excited to go inside. So first things first, you enter inside of the portal, and this part was super immersive. As soon as you walk through the portal, you were put right into a warp pipe. Now I've got to say, as far as theme park entrances go, this is by far the best one I've ever been to. It's just so immersive, and just what a great start to a theme park. And I just couldn't help myself from taking a thumbnail selfie. With that said, we finally make our way into the Super Nintendo world. As soon as I make my way inside, I quickly walk over to Donkey Kong Country. And this is the only Donkey Kong Country theme park located in America. And since it's only really been open for about 3 months at this point, I'm going to be one of the few people located here in America to be able to go inside. And now that I made it in, I quickly rush over to the Minecart Madness roller coaster. Before even getting on the ride, the scenery itself is so cool. Now I've played a few of the Donkey Kong games, but actually being here in person, it feels so similar. The standby line itself had this really cool animatronic, and other than that, the scenery itself, it was so immersive, and really I can't put it into words. It was a super cool experience to finally see this place in person. With that said, I eventually make my way up to the front and hop inside of my minecart. And this ride was super fun and super fast paced, and it's actually constructed in a really unique way. They put the cart on a gimbal, which means that you can actually go off the track. They use really cool visual effects and mind tricks to make you think that you're going off the rails. And if you don't quite know what I mean, I'll show you guys this part of the track from a different angle. As you guys can see, this isn't actually touching any rails. It appears as if the cart jumps off of the tracks and is airborne. That's actually just due to its gimbal design, which is super unique and super fun. With that said, I decided to go get myself a sweet treat. So I go over to the Bubbly Barrel. They had 2 different things to choose from, both of which are the same drink. You can either get one for $12.99 or you get the souvenir cup for $18.99. Now I really wanted the souvenir cup, but I have no room inside of my backpack, so I just decided to go with the cheaper option. This was a super delicious ice cream float kind of drink. It had a pineapple Fanta with the cone, some ice cream, some popcorn, and some chocolate shavings on top. It did, however, come with this souvenir spoon, which I will take since it does fit inside of my backpack. Speaking of souvenirs, Super Nintendo World has a ton of different gift shops, and I'm gonna say I almost bought a ton of stuff. You see, I am a super big Nintendo nerd, so seeing all this Nintendo merchandise, oh my goodness, I almost went into generational debt. It's a good thing there was no Pokemon merchandise, or I would be bankrupt. Anyway, I then head over to Yoshi's Adventure, which is the next ride. Now, if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I wasn't exactly the most excited for this ride, and I'm honestly just doing it to say that I did it. I will say that the standby line was well themed, and soon I made my way onto the ride. This is honestly geared more towards families with children, seeing as it goes maybe like 3 miles per hour at its most, 2 if you're fat. I mean, if I had to guess, honestly, it was super slow, although I guess you could argue it's just an excuse to sit down. And with that said, there were actually a few pretty good views of the park, and I guess it wasn't actually all that bad. The Nintendo theming did add to the charm of it, and you are actually able to see a bunch of animatronics that you wouldn't see otherwise. So I guess it's a pretty decent ride, really. Just not exactly my thing. If I was in charge, I would probably have to bump this thing up to 25 to maybe even 30 miles per hour. Now that would be rather exciting. With this said, I would give this ride a 6.5 out of 10, but now it's time to go to a much more exciting ride. That's right, it's time to go on Bowser Challenge, also known as the Super Mario Kart ride. This one's actually super cool in my opinion. Not only was the standby line very well themed, but once you make your way onto the ride, it's rather exciting. So you're given this VR headset, as well as a steering wheel, and while you're on the ride, you actually play a small Mario Kart game, and you compete with 7 other people to get the most amount of coins. So naturally, I set out on the goal to beat everybody else in this game. I'm rather competitive that way. With this said, as soon as the game started, I immediately locked in. I used the steering wheel to turn in the proper directions. I also used the buttons at proper timing, and I made sure to pay 100% attention to just the game and nothing else. Once I've entered that level of focus, I literally cannot lose. With this said, we eventually make it to the end of the ride, where we get to see the scores. And would you look at that, the highest score in both the carts is 171 coins. The average amount of coins is anywhere from 80 to 120. The person with 171 was me. And that's because when it comes to Mario Kart, I never lose. I lose at literally everything else though. And with that, we head out from Super Nintendo World. I had a super great time, and I'm gonna say I absolutely love this theme park. On my way out, I do get to see this really cool Super Mario fountain, but now it's time to go explore the rest of this theme park. As I said before, this theme park has multiple different portals, and each one brings you to a different part of the park. We just explored Super Mario World, but there are 3 more portals to explore. So let's go explore the next one. This one is the Monsters Universe themed portion of the park. I quickly make my way into the portal. Now, I haven't done too much research on this part of the park, but from what I can understand, it's kind of like a haunted Halloween theme area, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but my goodness, I was very surprised. Seeing as this is America's newest theme park, it's using some of America's newest technologies, and they use that to their advantage and do a really good job of immersing you. As soon as I walk in the park, these fog machines fill the air. That mixed with the old-timey architecture leads to a very spooky and scary scene. The first thing I do is I go on the Frankenstein ride. I wasn't quite sure what to expect with this ride, but my goodness, this ride blew me out of the water. Now, obviously, I didn't film this ride. I had a feeling it was going to be a fast-paced ride, so I didn't want to run the risk of me dropping my phone or my GoPro and accidentally hitting someone, so I just put the stuff inside my pocket and enjoyed the ride. With that said, as soon as I got on, oh my gosh, I had the absolute best time. They used these super futuristic animatronics that look so lifelike, as well as fire effects and these humongous screens that just immersed you in this world. It was super cool, and in my honest opinion, this is the best ride I went on while I was here. It truly does use some insane technology and a lot of really cool animatronics, and it was such a really cool ride. I would highly recommend you go on it. The wait time is always super low, and I 100% am certain that that's because people are just too afraid to go on this ride. It was the first time in a very long time where I actually felt scared on a ride, and I really did enjoy it. With that said, I wasn't really expecting much out of this whole Monsters Universe portion of the park. Like, I wasn't really excited for it as much as I was for the Nintendo portion, but after seeing it, it was actually a really cool part of the park, and I would definitely come back just to go on that Frankenstein ride one more time. It was so much fun. With that said, we have 2 more portals left that we haven't been into, so it's time to go on over to the next one.
With that said, the next portal that we're going to is the How to Train Your Dragon portal. Now, I kid you not, this is the only How to Train Your Dragon theme park in the world. Since it's super unique, I'm very excited to go inside and see what this theme park is truly like. As soon as I walk through that portal, I'm immediately immersed in the world of How to Train Your Dragon. I've got to say, they did a really good job of theming this part of the park. I honestly felt like I was walking into an old-time Viking town. The only difference is, this Viking village has dragons. As soon as you enter, you're greeted by a very large body of water, which have these humongous wooden statues. You're also able to see this really cool roller coaster whiz right past you. I would have loved to go on this ride, but the line was just way too long. And honestly, I am both too impatient to wait in that line and too poor to buy the fast pass tickets. So I decided to skip that ride and instead walk around to enjoy all the really cool animatronics and scenery, which was more than enough excitement for me. These animatronics were super cool and super awesome to see in person. One thing that was really fun was you can actually take a photo with the one and only Toothless, which sounded really cool, but the line was super long. Instead, I gotta take a photo with this one instead. I don't know this guy's name, but nonetheless, this is one of the biggest and best animatronics I saw here. But animatronics aside, there's another really cool ride here. You see, they have this ride where you get inside of a ship and you shoot these little water guns at targets. I didn't do this ride because I'm not trying to get drenched. However, I did go to get myself a snack. I decided to get myself this macaroni cone, which is macaroni in a cone. Duh. You can get one yourself for about 12 bucks located here at the Spitfire Grill. It actually tasted a lot better than you would expect. After eating, what better idea to then go on a ride? I decided to go on the Dragon Racers Rally. I really wanted to go on this one because it seemed really unique. And the reason is because you actually get to control the ride. You see, as soon as you sit down, on either side of you, you have 2 wings and 2 joysticks. You can then use the joysticks to change where your wings' locations are, which affects how you fly. Now, don't get this wrong. The sticks don't decide
decide where you are. The sticks just decide what formation your wings are in. So it's up to you to use aerodynamics, good timing, and even your body weight to maneuver your dragon. It's a super difficult system to get used to, but once you get it down and are able to lean properly, you can literally do a full 360 and go upside down. Overall, it was a really fun ride, but now it's time to go explore more of the park. I wanted to see as many more dragons as possible. First I saw this one that was sleeping, kind of like me when I'm not traveling. I also got to see this baby one that was eating, kind of like me when I'm not traveling. But the coolest dragon of all is located here at the Untrainable Dragon Show. Because you see, at this show they have a humongous animatronic Toothless, which is connected to wires, and they actually had this animatronic Toothless fly above the crowd with an actor playing Hiccup riding on top of it. It's supposed to be super impressive. So of course I came to the show to come see this really awesome animatronic dragon. So the show started, I was having a really great time, but right as the dragon was about to come out, the entire show completely shuts down. I kid you not, all the lights shut off and they literally told everybody to get up and get out. So I guess I wasn't able to see Toothless.
Middle of the act, and then suddenly like all the music stopped, the screen froze and everything, and then the actors just ran off stage, and then the voice said, all right everybody, the show's over, get out. So we all kind of left. So yeah, some malfunction must happen, but we got the free fast pass. So yeah, that means I can get straight on any ride, so let's go use it.
As soon as I realized I had a free fast pass ticket, I immediately head over to the final portal here at Epic Universe, and that is the Harry Potter portal. The reason why I came here so quickly is because they have a ride here that is super popular, and the line is usually anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, so I gotta use the fast pass ticket on this. But before I get on the ride, I decided to go look around the Harry Potter park, and I've gotta say, this is my least favorite part of the park. Firstly, the layout seems so odd. Like a lot of the doors and alleyways lead to nowhere, and all of the shops are super tiny. And since Harry Potter is so popular, the store fills up so quickly. Therefore, pretty much every single shop is completely packed. And the architecture doesn't even look like Harry Potter architecture. It just looks like an old town in Switzerland or something like that. Overall, not the best theming. With that said, I decided to head down to the ride. Lucky for me, the wait time is only 60 minutes, but I don't need it because I had the fast pass ticket. Or so I thought, because apparently the fast pass ticket isn't good for this ride. Because the workers said that this fast pass works for every ride except for this one. Whatever. I decided I'm just gonna wait this 60 minutes. So I hop in line, and my goodness, this is one of the best themed waiting areas I've ever seen. My absolute favorite part has got to be this portal portion. I don't know how they did it, but they somehow managed to make these portals look extremely realistic and extremely like the movies. It honestly felt like I was actually stepping into a portal, and it was honestly just super immersive. And while I wasn't a super big fan of the Harry Potter part of the park, this waiting area was amazing, and they did a super good job in this park. Now, while I was really enjoying this really awesome waiting area, that's when I was told that I wouldn't be able to go on the ride, because I kid you not, I waited in line for 2 hours before they told us that the ride was shut down, and they kicked us all out. And just like that, now I have 2 fast pass tickets. Now this made me kind of angry because I wasted 2 hours, but it was all gonna be worth it when I went on the Mario Kart ride 2 times in a row. Or so I thought, because I got there and they told me that the fast pass tickets don't work on this ride either. So to get over this nonsense, I went over to the Yoshi Snack Island so I could get myself some Nintendo themed snacks. I got myself this Yoshi mango smoothie thing and this red shell themed thing. Okay, fine, I forget the names, but they tasted pretty good. I then scrambled to go use those 2 fast passes. So I head over to the Curse of the Werewolf, which is actually a ride that I haven't done yet. This was over in the Monsters Universe part of the park, but I forgot to go on this ride, so I decided to come over, and guess what? They actually took the fast passes. So I used them both up and I walked right onto the ride. This ride was actually super fun. It was very fast and all the carts actually spin like a full 360. I had a lot of fun and it was super cool to enjoy this ride in the dark. And while we had our downs, this was a great way to end off this Epic Universal trip. So after getting off my final ride, I start to walk around the theme park and enjoy all the sights. First things first, I get to see the flaming windmill at night, and I've got to say, it looks a lot better at night since it glows a lot more. Also, the Frankenstein ride glows, which is pretty neat to see. But finally, as the sun goes down, I head to the middle of the park where they set off their humongous waterfall show. This is the show that I believe that they do every night right before they close. They sync the fountain with all the lights throughout the entire theme park, which leads to a really cool show, and it's a pretty neat way to end off the night. And just like that, once the water show ends, the Epic Universe Park closes. So I make my way out of the park to get back to my Airbnb for the night. It's time to get some sleep after a long day of adventure.
Well, Universal, Epic Universe, so much fun. I've got to say, I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed pretty much all the rides that I went on. With that said, there were a lot of delays. There were a lot of ride shutdowns and stuff. But other than that, I would say I enjoyed it a lot. Wait, the adventure's not over because now we have to get all the way back to the hotel. Now, I'm broke, so I didn't book a hotel like right next to the theme park. It would have costed way too much, so I got an Airbnb. Yeah, my Airbnb is like an hour away if I were to walk, so yeah. Which I would love to walk through the dark here in Orlando because it's a very nice town. It's a very nice city. I'm very tired for a long day, so we gotta hop back on what is electric scooter. Let's go hunt for an electric scooter to rent. Don't see any yet. Nothing around. Nope, nothing. And we have our ride. Let's get to riding.
And just like that, I use the electric scooter to get back to my Airbnb. As soon as I get back, I immediately hit the hay. After a long day of having fun, I'm very exhausted, and the following morning it's time to go to one final destination. That's right, I'm going to McDonald's, but not any McDonald's, because this is the world's biggest McDonald's. You see, Orlando, Florida is home to the world's biggest McDonald's. As soon as I get there, I decide to order something that you wouldn't usually see at a McDonald's. That's right, some delicious waffles. I also got some coffee and some bacon. I then walk around and explore more of the world's biggest McDonald's. They have a lot of really unique stuff here that they don't have at a normal McDonald's. For example, an entire arcade. I've got to say, this is absolutely insane. I did not expect an entire arcade to be inside of a McDonald's. But not only do they just have an arcade, they also have a bunch of other stuff. For example, a pizza oven. And the reason they have a pizza oven is because they actually serve pizza here. They also serve Philly cheesesteaks and a ton of other stuff that you wouldn't see at your average McDonald's. They even installed their own dessert bar here. At their dessert bar, they have an entire collection of different cakes as well as other sweets that you wouldn't normally see at a McDonald's. But could you imagine somebody being like, hey, where'd you get this cake from? And you say, I got it at McDonald's. That's pretty crazy. With that said, this McDonald's was really cool to see. But before I know it, it's time to go catch my train. So I head down to Orlando's Amtrak train station and I catch my train. It has always been my goal to go to every state in America. And this summer I'm trying to go to as many states as physically possible. I've had an extremely great time so far, and there are so many adventures ahead of us. With this, I hop on the train and head out to the next state, Louisiana. I highly recommend that you guys subscribe and turn on bell notifications because in that video, I'm going to explore all of the voodoo history here in Louisiana. And I kid you not, I'm going to push this to a length that I've never pushed a video to before. I am literally going to interview a voodoo priestess. This whole video is going to be absolutely insane, and you guys are not going to want to miss this. With that said, thank you all so very much for watching this video. I had an amazing time, and I hope you guys did as well. Make sure to comment down below your guys' favorite theme park and what you guys thought of this epic universe vlog. With that said, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you all later. Later, adventurers.